So this is all we keep getting previous listeners. I'll enjoy this. So this is a guy who was a very early listener as well, who emailed us saying that because of his English, the people at work haven't got his name right, and they keep calling him the wrong name. And we were like, just roll with it.
What was his name? I can't remember what his name was. It was like Pete, wasn't it, or something?
I can't remember.
Did we say it? Probably not.
Probably not, no.
Okay.
So yeah, we basically said to him, you can own up and get your name back, but because it's now happened, people will still call you the wrong name because now it's funny. So if you're that bothered, own up, otherwise just enjoy a different personality. So he says, the name problem I had seems like it was such a long time ago, and I never thanked you for the hilarious episode on my problem. Safe to say I followed your advice and came clean during a meeting, and it has been a helping hand in fitting in with the team. Always good. I was listening to Jamie's story on his trip to the supermarket and being stuck in a fire exit with a person who doesn't understand personal space, and it really did make me chuckle. I also relate to it a lot. When I'm out in public, I suffer with anxiety and have trouble with people in my personal space. But he says, on to the dilemma at hand. I play on my local darts team for both a social life and I enjoy the game. But recently I've fallen out with one of my pals after we had a crushing defeat. We had a lot to drink after the loss and ended up having a few nasty words with one another and a lot of pushing around. I don't hold grudges as a general rule, but I feel like I need to apologise, but I deserve one as well. But there doesn't seem to be any movement from their side to do this. Have you ever had a similar situation where the night before has left you with issues, or had big fallings out with one another or other friends, and how did you overcome it? Oh, this is a bad question because I'm a stubborn prick.
Yeah.
As I've still got an ongoing problem with someone that I haven't forgiven. I can't even remember what it is. I can't remember what happened. We brought him up in the podcast many times, and I couldn't tell you the exact point of which I started to hate him, but it hasn't changed. Just hasn't done it.
I'm trying to. There's plenty of people that you've disconnected from that I know. The one we were drunk and we found him in a pub and we just heckled him to fuck. Oh, right, yeah.
He did try to add me on social media a year back, and I just deleted it. I just can't do it. But it makes my blood boil.
Oh dear. I've done it so many times. I've fallen out with people. I've accidentally insulted people when I'm drunk, calling it. I use the word cunt a lot when I've had a drink, and it really upsets people sometimes, and I don't realise until the next day when they've stopped talking to me. When it comes to like competitions and stuff, like playing pool and stuff, or playing darts, it's quite easy to fall out with someone when you've had too much to drink. I think that's what you should just put it down to. I think it's not that deep.
I think if anything, it shows it's passion, right?
Yeah. If you like the bloke, then be the bigger man in the situation. I think maybe I've apologised hundreds of times for all the type of shit I've said to people, and I've thrown fists and had to apologise the next day. Dan's the opposite. Dan disconnects.
I use my
Dan
ADHD.
Deletes people on Facebook and then tells me after about 2 years later, and then I'm like, why don't you speak to them anymore? And he's like, I don't know. I'm like, bruv.
I can't remember. I remember we were at Jamie's wedding, and it wasn't even about anything. I deleted a couple of people off there, and the first thing they said to me was like, why'd you delete me on Facebook? And I was like, I don't know. Just walked off. I don't remember. Like, what does it fucking matter at someone else's wedding? Yeah, the easy option is to... Well, there's nothing wrong with you going up to the guy and saying, look, I feel bad, I want to apologise, but it works both ways, you know, so I want one back. And if he says, no, it was all your fault, then be like, well, then I'll find someone else to play fucking darts with you, dick, and fuck off.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would say.
If you turn up with a sincere apology and he goes, thanks, and don't say nothing back, I would probably lamp him again.
Yeah.
I'd probably hit him again.
Yeah.
Think, fuck this guy.
I think that's the easiest thing with like when you have like stuff like that, right? Like if you go forward and you apologise, but you say to them, you know, it's only fair you say something to me as well, even though you've had to tell them to say something to you as well. If they do it, then all's forgotten. But if not, then they're not worth having fucking around, because why should you have to apologise all the fucking time?
Exactly.
I think that's why it happened with that guy, right? I think what happened is he's a lazy friend, right? So every time we spoke, it's because I messaged him first for years and years and years and years and years. And then one day I was saying to someone, you know what? I'm not gonna fucking text him. If he wants to hang out, he can fucking text me. And then 2 days later, I'm getting all these text messages from the friend group, if that's what you call it, saying, why aren't you talking to him? I'm like, what? What do you mean, why aren't I talking to him? Oh, he says you haven't texted him in 2 days. I'm like, you fucking serious? I was like, I'm still talking to him, or why haven't you texted him? And I'm like, fuck off. And then I stopped talking to them as well. And then that's where it stemmed from. It spiraled out of control because I didn't text.
Yeah, that was like, I was like in a really weird place then, because I was like still chatting to both sides. I was like, what the fuck's going on? And then I ended up fucking caught, not caught in the middle of it, really. I was more like, we went out and got fucked up and then said a load of shit we shouldn't have said in a pub.
I don't remember any of it. And then I went to a house party where he was, and I was drinking whiskey straight at that point. That was during my whiskey phase.
All right.
And I was standing in the garden, just blackout drunk. And he had like tunnels in his ears. I don't know what he was trying to chat up some women or something like that. And I just turned around to him and I was like, why don't you shut the fuck up, you fucking man-child? I was like, look at you standing there in a fucking pair of jeans that I gave you 3 years ago, with fucking holes in your ears. I was like, you're such a fucking cunt. And I fucking walked off. And then apparently he came in the house. He was like, I know Dan's bigger than me, but if he speaks to me like that again, I'm going to try and fucking hit him. And I was like, fuck this, and went home.
Yeah, and you called me because I was on my way to the party.
To the
I was
party,
standing in Tesco buying my beer. I was buying my beer at the time, and you called me, and you were undecipherable.
Yeah.
You was just like, I told him to fuck off. I told him to fuck off. And I was like, who the fuck is he talking about? And then he was just like, I'm going home. There's no one at the party anymore. I was like, it's only 9 o'clock. He was like, yeah, I'm done.
Party was thumping. I just went. Yeah, I think that was the last time I actually saw him face to face. But
I remember sadly taking my beers back to the house, just going, "Oh, I'm not going out now, Mum." Just cracked one open.
But yeah, that's old time Dan. This is me trying to beg forgiveness. No, I think the best thing you do, like I say, is go to him, apologise your half. Even if he doesn't accept it, you've apologised for your part. I think that's the best thing to do. And then, like we say, if he doesn't agree or give you one back, then don't fucking bother. There's plenty of other people out there that want to play darts. It's not the end of the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
Don't do whatever me and Jamie was doing when we were younger, because that's the opposite of what you should be doing.
Yeah, so I've even done it with my own brothers, where I've absolutely rinsed into one of them, and it's just like, if they weren't my brother, they wouldn't talk to me again.
Yeah. Just get drunk and just fucking... But then I want to say, like, that's the way guys treat each other. But then that's not right, because I've been in the room when a girl's gone fucking throat slitting to her friend, and I'm like, holy fuck. But obviously I only see from our perspective because we're guys, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, just trying to apologise. Fucking go over it. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Because I guarantee you it won't be the last fucking time you do it.
It might be the good prosper of a relationship.
Yeah. Make you stronger.
I've got mates that I've physically beat up, and we're still mates. Both of us have had full-blown scraps outside fucking park in town. About 4 or 5 times I've actually physically like kicked him in the fucking ribs as he's on the floor, and we're still friends.
I think sometimes you need it though, right? I think
Depends. Yeah, it depends on your relationship. Like I
Yeah.
think with me and you, we always had the playfulness there.
All right, Jamie. All right.
We did, didn't we? Like there was no militia there. Militian. Is it militian? Maliciousness.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, You didn't wanna fucking
Between
kill me.
us. Yeah. But there's been some mates that just piss me off, and like we've gone for the same girls and stuff like that. And sometimes things need to be rectified.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so you're not the only one that this happened to, but get it sorted. You know what I mean? It's not something you need to worry about. Just zip it up. It's gone. So this listener